do like. What are they going to pair together with it as well? Because it really feels like a lane dominator. You know, as soon as you hit level 2, you've got incredibly high kill potential with a CM in your lane. So whether it is the Monkey King or a Juggernaut or something along those lines, I feel like that's what SMG are going to go for.
Pick.
Might be forced into the Jug now with the Clockwork being picked up.
Definitely feels like a bit of a mid one hero as well. Always seen him have some solid performances on the Juggernaut, and
10 seconds remaining.
Should be a pretty good matchup versus Wraith King as well as that game goes on.
5 seconds
depending
remaining.
if he wants to go. He's been really liking his Diffusal Blade on his carries, so he wants to go more of a fighting centric build. But I like what you're saying.
Regardless of the build, it just needs to be a hero that's able to stand in on the front lines, right? And actually do things, because an Enigma never wants to be that hero unless he's left completely alone in a lane, is able to push a tower. CM absolutely never wants to do that. Same sort of thing with the Nyx Assassin. So carry needs to be there to kind of bait in the enemy team to start the fight. I suppose you can kind of use Nia's hero, whatever it might be, to do a similar sort of thing, but doesn't feel like his style. He's the one that's going to be diving in onto the back lines. Mid one will then follow up on that, and then hopefully you can try and get him out of position for KP to come in with a Black Hole. Hell, even just a Midnight Pulse. Midnight Pulse plus 4-second Searing Chains, plus a Frostbite, plus a slow. That's a lot of damage. You know, I feel like we could even see that being the most damaging ability this game, the Midnight Pulse.
10 seconds remaining.
It does now leave, I feel, mid one's hero pool a little bit slimmer because of the Ember getting picked up. I think you had to go for something that's really going to use a lot of abilities and be enabled by the Crystal Maiden, because you don't have really any of that with the Nyx and the Enigma. And it definitely, like you said, fits Nia's hero pool. But I feel like now, what can mid one, like, I don't think there's many available that he can really go for to play the front line, like you were saying.
Yeah, I still feel like Jug's probably the build, but South build, they've got the luxury of this next pick as well as the few bans. I feel like it's going to be telegraphed pretty well by SMG as to what they're banning out in particular. You know, do they ban something like the Axe that's going to be able to lock a few of these things in place? They've already got one BKB piercing stun in the Clockwork if you are on point with that hook, but it's going to be quite hard with all the different units that are going to be going around in these team fights. You know, all the Wraith King skeletons, all the heroes, the Eidolons, and maybe even a few War of Replica illusions as well. So we'll see. We'll see what they opt to go for.
Are we looking for a 2? We looking for Bob's hero?
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
Storm's kind of annoying, right? We saw in that series between... Was it Little Gun and SMG? Where Hishki was playing the Nyx Assassin and he was actually able to snipe Nia a few times just by walking into the Remnant and carapacing? I feel like it was.
Yeah, it was that series, yeah.
Yeah, so that might make life a little bit difficult for him, right? You can never just be off on your own farming. You can have a decent laning stage, but... And then CM's obviously doesn't have much in the form of escape potential.
Do they need a BKB piercing stun for South Bill? You've got the hook shot, but do you want to have a second just for the late game against Enigma?
Like what?
I'm trying to think of what twos actually, because there's not many position twos that have any.
Team pick.
Hero sheet out.
Necro? I don't know.
What feels like a Bob hero? What do they need?
10 seconds remaining.
Pretty good wave push.
5
they do kind of lack ways to take objectives until the Wraith King comes on.
Just having a look into something. It's one of these little niche... Hold up. Is there anything that can disrupt?
Void Incarnate.
No, that's not one of these heroes that I was thinking about. So there's this kind of cool interaction that Grimstroke has. So let's say Enigma is soulbinded, and he's linked up with the Crystal Maiden. Enigma pops his BKB. If you use one of
10
like,
seconds
there's about
remaining.
15 abilities onto the Crystal Maiden, it actually pierces the spell
5
immunity
seconds
of
remaining.
the BKB Enigma. So you could use, for example, like a Frostbite, for example, not a Frostbite, a Cold Feet from the AA, and it will actually freeze the Enigma in place, which is kind of cool, you know,
Wait,
even if he's
what?
got that BKB popped. I know,
Really?
it's a little weird, right?
You may now
Mhm.
select your heroes.
There's not many hero abilities though that actually go through it. There's in terms of stuns, there's Cold Feet. Reaper's Scythe kind of already does it, but it does the damage through it, which is nice. Stifling Dagger works on it as well. That's about it. So two two things that could actually break it up, which is nice.
Well, we do still see that Juggernaut getting picked up in the end here for SMG. Something you were bringing up as soon as the Crystal Maiden was drafted. So
Strong kill lane. You don't care as much about the Darkseer, even if like he gets a double Ion Shell creep wave, right? You can just spin. It takes away your kill potential, sure, but if it means that you're not going to be harassed, forced to buy up quite as much regen, you're going to be fine with that. You've got a little bit more luxury to use the healing ward more liberally because eventually you're going to get that arcane aura on the CM, and yeah, of course, the kill potential with that frostbite. You lock the Darkseer in place, and you know, spin pre-surge as well if you're able to get it. It's really nice to have. So I wonder if they're going to even try going for you know, a super early like nuke down the creep wave. Make sure you get your level 2 first before this Darkseer. That could be the plan.
yeah, we see a lot of the times it's very important for teams to utilize that level 2 advantage you get, and especially with a lane like the Juggernaut and the Crystal Maiden. Honestly, their level 1 advantage is still really strong as well. Like Darkseer's not going to be able to escape. That's not really much the Clockwork can do. Like Samael really needs level 3 for when he gets 2 points in battery assault. So even before that too, like I feel like we'll see SMG still get pretty active if it's not them using a lot of their abilities or just right clicking down the wave.
Even just the level 2, right, for the Clockwork in particular, because you're going to have the cogs, you've got the boots as well, so you're going to be able to get away from most kill attempts. We can see here with mid 1, he doesn't have boots just yet. CM, you're always incredibly slow, so he should be able to get away from these ganks. Speaking of ganks, we've got one attempted, but nice defensive ward means that they're going to position themselves really deep. They're going to be able to take the fight on their terms on SMG. Oh, they could catch Enryu, who's gone way too far forward. What's going on?
Oh, Enryu. Well, there's a little bit of experience before even the lane starts. It's going to just get you closer and closer to that 2 here for mid 1. And Nia is able to pick up the first blood. Here's something I was wanting to also bring up in the draft. I might wait real quick just to see if there's any fights. Afu, is he actually going to get this?
Fine.
Yeah, they're going to make sure they don't
The battle begins.
group up for a 2-man stun. Yeah, they pick the Void Spirit into the Ember, and quite often I see the Ember actually is the one to kind of counter the Void. You've got a lot of magical damage to go through the Resonant Pulse. You've got more mobility as well with the triple Remnant, and you can kind of also get items to help out with your mobility. So very great to be able to catch the Void Spirit. The chains very much affects him with this Dissimulate play. I'm kind of surprised that they picked it into the matchup, but I guess there wasn't really many heroes left available for Bob.
Not many left available, and as well, if you're able to, excuse me, save the Aether Remnant for a team fight that the Enigma is eventually going to be joining, then that could be used pre-BKB to disrupt that black hole, which can be, you know, quite impactful, of course. There's not too much that's going to be able to get in onto those backlines. You know, the Wraith Fire Blast, kind of short range. Inkswell, you need to be in on top of the target. Hookshot, I mean, we already talked about how difficult it can be to land one of those, so it might just be something that's able to maneuver around these team fights a little easier, specifically against the Enigma.
Love what Radiant have done down bot though. You were saying the importance of you potentially just killing off the creep wave as fast as possible, and that's what mid 1 did with the Blade Fury. Rogi also dragged a couple of the creeps away so mid 1 could solo his own range creep versus Enryu to deny it. So just early on, and here the twos come into play. It's just mid one at the moment, but even then, that might be enough. And Ryu
He's level 2.
surged. Oh my lord.
Samael just got the last hit on the creep as they were running away, and that was enough. I was thinking maybe, you know, Roger was going to go for the last hit on the range creep and get his own level 2 from that, but wasn't able to do it. Gets the salve, able to get on back. It just shows you the strength of that matchup super early on.
What was his courier? Because Clockwork does have the boots. At least he gets the items. They blocked off that small camp as well, so Rogi... I don't know if he's aware of this though, because I believe the Clockwork has blocked it twice now with the pull of the creep, so maybe they're not too sure.
Rogi's walking through saying, "What are you doing with the creep wave?
Bring it back here."
Oh, nice range there on the frostbite. That's crazy range, actually. I wonder if it might have been better to use the Crystal Nova, actually.
Yeah.
Longer range, longer slow duration. He's actually going to drag it all the way back in. So it's actually going to do some better things for the lane equilibrium. Even getting to deny Rogi for one. So I don't think they're going to mind that all too much.
Not at all. And that's just the recognition that mid one, he's going to be able to play solo versus Enryu. Like he can just Blade Fury down the lane if he needs to. So it means that Rogi continuing to chase the pulled creep wave just disrupts it. What they were really looking to do there was just deny the full wave of experience away from the mid one Juggernaut. But again, just the plays from Rogi. This is a support that is having so much impact through the laning stage already.
Very slow though. He hasn't opted to use the Mango to try and get the Crystal Nova or the secondary Frostbite onto him. It's only a level 1 battery assault though, so I don't think it should be enough to kill. I'd make that a little bit difficult though. Just to stand there so he's not taking the buzz from the cogs. I think he'll get away.
Does he do it?
He'll get away. He'll get away.
Oh. Danog, would you have had the balls of steel to go under that T2 tower?
Of course I would. Oh, as the Clockwork?
Yeah.
No, not a chance.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Of course would. No, a CM's going to run to the T1. Just going to yeet away from the defensive T2. Okay, wait, just denied himself, I believe. Yes, sir.
And they are able to... Roger, you got to get out of the spawn box. He does. Nicely done. Small camp now available once more. Smiley's just trying to protect this a little bit. They're going to get the D-Ward as well.
Dire's middle tower
That's really
is under
nice.
attack.
But all this time, mid one, he's just been sitting down here. All you need is level 2 on the CM, and you've got a huge amount of kill potential. So just feed everything through to mid one. I'm sure the team would love 1 point in the Arcane Aura, but I mean, it just feels like a luxury at this point.
Do you go
Really
for...
doing so well.
Do you go for a second point in Frostbite just to have a little bit of extra control versus the Surge?
Depends how the laning stage is going, you know. If, for example, mid is going a bit rougher, I might go the Arcane Aura just to help my team out a little bit. But it feels for mine that, honestly, all 3 lanes are won at this point. Look at the net worth on the Darkseer. He is second last on net worth because of all this lane manipulation that's been going on.
Dire's structures are
I mean,
fortified.
he's not really going to be able to make any stacks as well. Maybe they can get a kill on Rogi. That's kind of the only play they have right now, but with mid one being level 3
as well.
Yeah, so Enryu's just gonna get chased down here. So the Darkseer, one more swipe, claim the kill. CM's still gonna end up getting chased down from the Clockwork thanks to the Iron Shell. Meanwhile, we also see Bob picked up a great solo kill against Nia on the Ember.
3 kills for 1, but the net worth tells the tale. You know, right now, it's hovering between 1-2k differential. I don't think SMG, they're going to be minding all that much. Thankfully enough for Enryu, he was actually the one to get the last hit with his Ion Shell there, so moves himself up to just below the Nyx Assassin on the net worth. But yeah, it just shows the strength of this Juggernaut. Level 6 versus a level 3 right now. Gonna have to go back into the creep wave to be able to try and dodge out any sort of Omni Slash attempts onto his life.
Meanwhile, it's just the fact that Jug's got 18 denies, 19 now, and then you take a look at KP, and KP's on 20, and this is a hero that's naturally really, really solid at denying creeps. KP's loving
Oh,
life
the
right now.
KP Midas. The KP Midas. He's gonna get it nice and early too.
Oh,
like
yeah, he will.
7-minute Midas with
Dyer's
3 Sages
turret
masks
has
to
been
start the
killed.
game.
Double damage empowers me.
They're looking to make a play down bot, Rogi. This time they will be able to get the kill. Meanwhile, Nia was also trying to make a dive attempt onto the Void Spirit, but that's 3 heroes down here. Well, your Nia just pushed away your Void Spirit, so he's going to get solo time. Top, the Enigma is having an incredible time, and you haven't slowed down the Juggernaut as well, so they really don't care about Rogi dying.
No, not at all. Like, he's done his job. Gonna go for a kill attempt. Poor Roger.
Feels like that's the CM life though, every game.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Just
is
once I
under
want to
attack.
see a pro game where the CM gets the freezing field and the new Ag shard, you know? Just able to run into the enemy team.
Surely you draft it with the Dark Seer.
Right?
Saw the clip of that.
Or a Lycan Wolf
Kinda
Spine.
nutty.
Radiant's
Yeah,
bottom
yeah.
tower is under attack.
It's like, oh, very fun, very fun.
KP, he just doesn't care. He's standing back here, just making sure he soaks up all the experience. He's got the black hole available, so Marv, he's going to have to be careful about going in too deep.
Gonna have a second life here from the Wraith King. He's pinging out. He's like, boys, I need help. They're diving me. I get one rotation. But KP, Phantom Embrace, prevents the ultimate. Nia's falling pretty low here, Mobs. Able to crit him down. Inkswell stun's gonna be there. Nia still playing around with fire at the moment. He actually goes back in with the Remnant. Nia? Alright, feeds away a kill for Mob.
Maybe just thinking that KP would be there with a black hole, but still kind of squishy super early on. Another death for Rogi, so off feasting. He's had a pretty good start to the game, Bob. Getting that solo kill there. But all it means is that this Juggernaut, this mid one Juggernaut, finally we're seeing a Battle Fury come through for him. It makes sense. You know, you want to be able to clear out a lot of these skellies that are going to be coming out quite frequently. I think they're playing
Radiant's
definitely
middle
for the
tower
late
is
game
under
here on
attack.
SMG. It's good to see a different kind of strategy come through from them. I mean, Midas, Enigma.
Dyer's
gonna now
top
show up
tower
up
is
top.
under attack.
Very nicely done from Arfu, eating that Remnant, but there's the extra follow-up lockdown is just a little bit too late. We've seen Bob, again,
Dyer's top
you
tower
gotta feel
is
for
under
him
attack.
eventually. He's always having these stellar performances. I mean, very few times we see him not. You know, in particular was that one game versus Yopaj, the TA versus and the Puck matchup. But you know, apart from that, it really does feel like Bob is such a consistent
Dyer's top
player.
tower is under attack.
I mean, he just had a horrible matchup in that Puck TA game. You can't blame him all too much for that. They are putting a lot of attention in onto him.
Oh.
I think I've counted 3 or 4 bottle
no.
refills coming through from him.
KP, he doesn't have mana for the black hole. Used one
No.
too many abilities there. That would have been a big kill to pick up, knowing the reincarnation was on cooldown. And Rogi, this is going to be the 5th death of the game here for the Crystal Maiden as well. Mid one getting a solo down, but we're still looking to keep our eyes on Nia. Just the lack of control allows the Ember to play with fire at the moment. He's even actually going to go back in. Bob doesn't have any more ultimate charges, and the Resonant Pulses are going to do anything. Eats up that Remnant to find the Invis Rune. So Bob unable to get any more refills to sip him up to safety.
Not in very deep. He's got the regen, the Invis Rune though. End up bottling it, but still a couple of charges used. Another refill. How do you feel about this refill meta? I'm all about the efficiency, so I like it, but I'm also all about this, oh no, KB. Let's call it lag.
Yeah, we're both like, yeah, that's the Oz latency. Things you hate to see as an Enigma. KP's like, oh, it happens to the best of us. I'll come back and watch him get like a 4-5 man black hole later on this game.
Don't think he needed the demonic conversion that time around.
How I feel about the bottom meta? Whatever isn't dual lane mid, I'm okay with, I feel like.
How long has it been since dual lane mid?
A while, but like, I really did not like watching it.
Radiant's middle tower is under
True.
attack.
Like, it's goddamn
Dire's
boring.
structures are fortified.
I don't mind if it's like, you know, a wacky thing where it's like an IO paired together with the mid occasionally. I felt
When have
that
we
was
seen
kind of
that? Yeah, that, like, I don't mind that, but like when we're actually getting like dual lane mid like pretty consistently.
Unless it's 5-on-5 mid, I don't want to watch it.
That's what we get now, pretty much. At least you can say it's close enough to 5-on-5 mid with
Radiant's
the
bottom tower
bounty runes
is
at
under attack.
the 0-minute mark.
True.
Dire's top tower has been denied.
I guess like it's at least, even though it does feel like it's a very bottle intensive meta, we do still see a lot of rotations from the mid laners, which is still nice to see.
Level 7 on Samael. He uses the rocket flare,
Radiant's
misses the
bottom
hook
tower
though,
is under
underneath the
attack.
tower.
Maybe we'll make up for
Doesn't
it.
seem to care though.
Why not
Got
use the
that
surge
big
this
wind up on
time?
the Impale.
Damage up the healing ward, Arfu, still gonna get chunked apart. But they're diving really deep, and this is gonna allow Radiant for the numbers rotation. Omni Slash casts it out, not gonna get too many lucky bounces from mid one. That means that mob, they brought down the tree, so unfortunately he's gonna have to try and juke away back to the safety of Bob's Void Spirit. Mob's still moving very slow, so they should be able to close the distance on Nia. They'll kill him once. Can they kill him a second time though? Zenki showing up. He's got the Soulbind. That leash potential. It's gonna make SMG think otherwise, but you're happy with it. You don't lose your T1 tower. You get a couple kills. You get the reincarnation. A very long cooldown.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now they're going to be definitely playing a lot more defensively. You kind of know where Marb's going to be farming now. As soon as he shows on the map, then SMG, they're going to look to beeline it straight to him.
He's going
So
back
that's
in.
what forces Bob to go in, yeah. You need to. You need to be this proactive.
Hook shot onto
Get double
two.
connect here. Very nice.
It's a great fight from South Build at the moment. He's going to get pushed back. Fighting on top of the Midnight Pulse is going to cost them the life of Samael, but still Bob is getting chased down here. Very early Yule's picked up without completing the boots.
Radiant's
Get
top
him some
tower is
distance
under
away,
attack.
but Arfu's hunting.
Dire's
We're even going
middle
to try and bring in
tower has
Rogi as well. Bob?
No Omni
Should
Slash, he's
be
fine.
okay.
I think.
Anyone's got Battle Fury already. Oh my. I got the chance to simulate. Yours is available as well.
Hello? Hello?
Hmm.
Had heals and then dissimulate.
Alright, well that's a big streak. 476 gold for your Nyx Assassin. Looks like he's
Dire's middle tower is
going
under
into the
attack.
4-star first item here for Arfu. And we might see with that gold. That's a very early 4-star for Arfu.
It's been a part of a lot of SMG's kills up to this point. Very important to have, like great value
I'll take that.
against you know, the slows coming through from the wall of replica. Of course, just getting away from the Wraith King, out of the Clockwork Cogs, and as well that max. If you're pulling the
Radiant's bottom
Soulbind
tower
tether
is under
to its
attack.
max range, you force stuff out, it actually breaks it up, so it can be used quite effectively there.
That worth
Used the
just
chases like that before.
what is what are we looking at the moment? Mid one, Sanj and Yasha. How about the opposite position one? Marb, he's got Midas. He's going to be working into the Radiance. 2,400 gold in the bank. Definitely going to need a little bit more time, however, for the Wraith King.
He went back for the minus, huh? Like, he had about 2,800 gold a couple of minutes ago. I thought, okay, he's just going for the casual K1 Hector build where, you know, you get the Gloves of Haste because it's really effective on a Wraith King because you have pretty crappy right click. A double kill here, and that's still withholding the black hole.
Jump in, Bob. A lot of damage here. Omnislash going to bounce back forward. Mid one's gets a double fight. No, again, KP! He still drops the voice line. It's not going to matter, though. They'll chase down Bob. This time he even loses the Courier. That was phase boots. A little bit of clarity with the regen, but nonetheless, mid one gets himself a 888 KP. Someone tip him. So surely you get a friendly tip on the team. It's like, brother, do not worry. You missed the black holes. We know you're going to be able to get them in the later stages. We're still having a solid game. Don't worry about it.
Maybe just a steady bomb beep with his, you know, his team's voice lines. That's what he needs right now.
This'll come in handy.
They've actually got like, I don't know what country it's in actually, but they've got a like a get vaccinated ad on the TV right now where steady bomb PP is part of it.
That's right. Bookshop, where the heck is that? KP? The Eidolons are able to get rid of the cogs, and 4 staff already picked up from Arfu means KP can retreat safely. And it gives time for SMG to sweep on over, just punishing that aggressive move from the duo support of South Built.
I was saying before when he picked up the Aether Lens, obviously it's good because it's eventually going to build into the Octarine, but you know, after that first attempted black hole, maybe he just wanted a little bit of an extra range on being able to cast the black hole, but clearly didn't work out for him that well that time around. Surely number 3 is going to be good, you know, 3rd time's the charm.
We're gonna have to wait for a little bit till we see if he can knock that one off the block. Look at Radiant's vision right now. Like top, so much information through the dire jungle. They got a defensive ward securing mid one's farm. They got a defensive ward down bottom as well, just seeing any infiltration movements that South Builder are looking to utilize. Right, they've caught out the Ember. Oh,
Nice
Afu,
stun,
what a
Afu
stun!
again.
It's not gonna matter, but it still gets them grouped up here for mid one's cleave. Again, some pretty unlucky bounces for the Juggernaut. Be able to get back to safety. Bob looking to hunt. KP runs into a bit of a choke point here to set up for the Remnant. The drag back with the vacuum as well. They're diving deep under the T1 tower. They're going to be careful. How far do you want to commit on forward? Freezing Field's going to get dropped. Not doing too much damage at the moment. Dai still sitting on the back line. Another 2-man stun from Arfu. They clean off Bob. They'll clean off Samael. And even Nia wants to try and buy back and get involved in the fight. They're hunting down the Wraith King. Barby's still got this reincarnation, but they'll kill him the once, and they should be able to kill him the secondary time as well. Arfu perfectly set up. The impales through that fight were so on point from the Knicks.
Yeah, Afu's looking on point today. He's just seems to land everything that he wants to in these team fights. And again, not too many huge cooldowns used. Again, that could have been so much worse for SBE as well. Sorry, for SMG. No, SBE. The Omni Slash hitting onto nobody. They were clumped up together because of that great impale. Even in the cogs kind of pushing them off to one side, but no, just landing onto, I believe it was the wall of replica illusions. So, pulling them off. I was a little confused about why they're going into a Yasha on this Ember Spirit. Like, he's already got the Blade Mail, so clearly realizing that, okay, I'm probably going to be the one that's taking a lot of the damage, considering, you know, how we're talking about how they need to take the team fights eventually on SMG. You know, mid one stands on the front.
That's a big kill.
Nia goes to the back. Ooh.
Chain lockdown should be there. Very nice. That is
a dieback.
Yeah. Tip him. So would you be triggered? You're like, guys, what are they doing? We're up 5,000. Like, we're gonna win. More than likely looking strong to win this game. And you're like, why are they tipping me? Maybe if they win another, at least get another pick off here. It's just a mental warfare from South Built. They shone 2. Killing Wood's there, but is the health going to be enough to be able to keep Rogi alive? It's not. Very nicely done from Bob. It's a double for Marb. He's come online. Radiance just got delivered for him as well, with the T1 targeting claimed.
Right. Things looking a little bit more up for South Built. You know, these team fights not good in their favor so much. It just shows how important it is having Nia there to take away a lot of the attention from the backlines. Mid one, he's still not in a position where he can just walk on forward. He's got the S&Y, which helps him a little bit in that regard, but so much mobility on the Darkseer. Clockwork blocking off a bunch of avenues from being able to team fight, and you know, that time around the Soulbind was used just to make sure that there wasn't any connection coming through from the Enigma. So now that they're all up again, they don't have the freezing field, but I don't think they're going to care all that much. You've still got the big ultimates ready and available. As Nia goes hunting for Bob. Doesn't find him.
Does reveal that they're away from KP. Mid one's going to come on over once again with the healing ward, this time not used to keep KP alive. It's got a little bit of backup coming through. Dire, how far do they want to push on forward? Great spike carapace allows them to turn. Now sets up for the Impale as well, but the Omni Slash are going to be able to chain lock down Bob. Yosef to the last second, but is he able to get back to safety? I don't think he's going to be able to. No, they get him. Bob will fall. Now even the Remnant on fall
might get
as
caught
well.
by the burn.
Nia controlling Zenki, mid one. Is able to kill off the first life with the reincarnation. Mob. He's got no help coming through. Great use of the spike carapace from the Radiance burn. We're controlling in. Mid one's godlike. Finally dropped the back wall, but it's too late. And Ryu's still gonna lose his life.
Yeah, with this Darkseer, he's still a fair ways away from being able to pick up that Aghanim Scepter. I thought maybe he might have tried for the Surge play for himself, get the vacuum up onto the cliff to try and protect his core. Wasn't in position to be able to do it though, and that's looking like being a free Roche with the healing ward to be able to back him up. Fights are just going to be becoming even easier for SMG moving forward. With this Roche going down, very close for Rogi to picking up the 4-star. He's got the Philosopher's Stone already, KP. He's got enough gold for the BKB, which he's got coming out to him as well.
Radiant are scanning. Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
Now we, that BKB, KP might feel a little bit more confident with his positioning to drop some black holes. I guess you do have to be a bit wary still of the hook shot though. So maybe you might force the Clockwork to hold on to the hook shot, just knowing that he's really the only way to cancel.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's
No Blink Dagger just yet. I wonder if he's going to go into that or just straight into the Octarine after this, considering now he's got a bunch of things that are cooldown reliant. BKB, Black Hole, Midas. Getting the cooldown reduction from the level 15 Talon, of course.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
See though the comparison in the net worth between the ones. Like mid one is just
Dire's top tower
he's on another level of farm right now. 9-0 and 7. Barber's got some reinforcements on the high ground. He's gonna try and get back to safety. That's just one swift slash. Like Marb's health pool just evaporated. Mid one's gonna try and zone away the backup of South Bill. Zenki leashed up. The leash not really going to do too much when they both recognize what target they want to bring down. The Omni Slash completely wasted. Great use of the hook shot from Samael. The Cogs as well in a reasonably good position on the choke point. So Clockwork's actually going to get back to safety. Bob wants to counter initiate. Nia kind of protected with the Blade Mail. Means that Bob has to think otherwise about jumping in forward. And now his Astral Steps on cooldown. Still can use. Steps up in a couple seconds here. Bob will be able to get back to safety. What's going on mid? That's Enryu. Surge should be okay. Nia, he's got one, but not going to be enough for the Searing Chains. Quick though, Enryu's?
Oh, he's got the bottle though.
Okay, well, Enryu. A little bit greedy there to try and cut the mid wave instead of keeping his life.
Accept your
A
death.
lot greedy. No glyph available. You've got basically all of your ultimates available except for the Omni Slash, but Swift Slash just as good if you're now able to get these deeper dives in, and the tips come straight back from, well, honestly, from their own team coming through. Bob might get caught out here by Afu.
This is hard to catch though, because well, never mind.
See Nia. Oh no.
When he goes for a TP, Afu's like, thank you, easy pickings, my good sir. So I don't have to make that difficult setup with the Impale. Instead, just walking up the high ground, mid one. The backup of Rogi down bot.
Mob's TP was interrupted.
Oh no, Bob, well, he knows his fate. It's just, can he maybe bring someone down with him? He can't. Reincarnation's still on cooldown as well, so no second life he can play with.
Didn't even have the mana to do it. And again, mid one's just diving. into the base. He's still got about 1.5 minutes left on that Aegis. Smail. His surge movement speed's not going to be enough.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Will we see a black hole hit a hero this game?
Yeah, true. Come on,
Dire's
KP, get a
middle
blink.
tower has fallen.
We gotta see it.
Dire's middle barracks
Gotta
are
pull
under
something out of the
attack.
hat for us. That's what we're looking for now. Just the taunt's so cool for the Enigma. I want more taunts to come into the game.
The little wobbly snake arms.
Yeah, is that what we're calling it?
I mean, the fact that the Eidolons do the dance as well at the same time.
Oh wait,
is,
do they?
I
Actually-
believe so. When they're not
Dire's
attacking.
middle barracks.
Oh, Bob. Black hole. There we go.
Got him.
He's like, I may as well just drop it. Why not? Make sure we get one at least.
Captured in the flames.
Neo. Black hole's on cooldown. Enryu needs to get a set up here. Malphus blocks him in. Thinks well stun as well. It's not really going to hold them back here from Radiant. There's the whack wall getting dropped. Hook shot unfortunately off the mark. The chain lockdown not going to be there. So now that's kind of a lot of the combo that Dire are hoping for to take the fight. Force stuff in. Use this defensive item to be able to protect them for the team fight here. Bob, BKB, Inkswell stun as well once again. But now they've got the Omnislash, which is going to rip him apart. Mob's got no buyback. I don't know how they're able to hold this. I mean,
Dire's top barracks are
Leaf's on
under
cooldown.
They might be able to time this perfectly with the Aegis expiring. Nope, it had about 2 seconds left.
It's a nice attempt at least, but... Well, now mid one's full health, full mana. He's like, thanks, guys. Back in, mid one. Sweet animation with the Swift Slash, but stunned up on the back line. Void Spirit controlled for the moment. He's able to get the Yules. Hookshot off the mark from the Clockwork. Soulbind's out as well, so they're going to still be able to clean off the back. Void Spirit will fall. There's just no buybacks, and we just... SMG completely annihilate this series. 4 down, they'll make it a 5th. 2 buybacks available, but I think that's going to be all they wrote.
It's fountain diving time. They're just standing outside, putting all the
Oh,
sprays down.
no.
Is Nia really the only one that's purchased their own pack? No, mid one's got it as well.
Come on, mid one, drop one.
Rogy's got one. Afu, do you? Afu
Dire's
and KP, they gotta pick up their game. Well, another solid performance coming through from SMG, and well, that leads Southfield Esports 0-8 so far in this tournament. It has to be said, after the group stage, you're not immediately knocked out. It just means that you're put down into that lower division, and right now you would have to say that Southfield, they're the favorites to be the lowest seed, so they would come up against the 5th place team, you would assume, in that first round. Everyone goes away with this with a little bit of money, which is always great, but I'm sure they were hoping for a better performance than they've shown thus far. They've got a few series left to be able to take advantage of that, but that's not going to be for... well, actually, they do play one series tomorrow against Boom, but Boom, they've been looking real strong, so something's going to change, or something's going to have to change if their fate is going to as well.
Yeah, like you were saying, it's at least nice knowing that we're going to see all the teams in the playoffs, but it's kind of bittersweet. I mean, if you're unable to take any maps, then your confidence going into it is definitely going to be nullified with the performance in the round robin. So, I mean, unfortunately for them, they're going to drop today, ending day 3, 0-4, and like you were saying, that's going to end up being 0-8, all up in the standings for the side of Southfield. And for SMG, they're able to at least take their first full 2-0 victory here. They are now jumping up to 3-3 after their first 3 out of 7 series here of the Lootbet Pro Series. And guys, that's not it for us tonight here, because we've got another cracker of a series, and I put some emphasis on that. We got Motivate taking on Omega Esports. It's going to be our last series of the night. We're going to see who's going to be able to take that one and move further up in the group stage round robin here. So we'll see that series after a short break.